Vanakkam, Namaste, Swagatam. We are an integral family system. We have completed family, we have completed freedom, and also we have seen in-laws conflicts. Now, let us see about the two family issues which can be rising in every family. So now let us discuss two families. What does that mean? Let me first explain. When you get married, as Chetan Bhagat says, it is not about two people, it is about two families coming together. And that definitely true, because family plays a very, very vital role, not only during marriage, but also throughout our life. Therefore, two families, how they come together and what are all the conflicts may happen between two families, in what level, why, and how to understand and handle that. That is what we are going to see in this video. The first one is basics, the few fundamental things which we need to first understand. And the first thing in that is, why do we need to have two families in the first place? How is that important? It is important because when it comes to family, when it comes to function or any events, not only social events but also personal events, both the families will be there because both the families love their son or daughter. Therefore, in one or the other way, both the families are going to interact very, very often throughout your life. Therefore, we need to understand the importance of understanding the two families and the possibility of conflict and solutions for those conflicts. The second thing, what are the benefits? Why do we need to have these families, and how are the two families going to help us out? Very simple. They do service and support. Let me make it simple. Whenever you and your partner fight, whenever there is a conflict between you and your partner, at that point of time, only these two families, the first step, come forward and address the problem and solve the problem and make everything settle down normal. And also, not only that, any need is there. If there is any need, any type of need, we have already discussed all these things in the family perspective of seatbelt dimension itself. If you have not watched, kindly go and watch. So therefore, all those needs, whichever we mentioned, more than 10 or 15, right? So all those things will be addressed when it comes to support. And obviously, since both the families love their son and daughter, therefore they will be the first person to come and help. Now, other than that, is there any other dimension? Yes. When issue happens, when there is a conflict happens, what kind of a conflict it could be? Normally outside it could be an open conflict, but whereas when it comes to two families, many times what we see is cold war. There will be discomfort, there will be confusion, there will be issues, but outward they both will act as if everything is normal. So that is called a cold war, where there will be fight, but it will be in the undercurrent. And in unfortunate situations, there could also rise to a situation where there will be an open fight. Now, other than this basics, what else are we going to see? We are going to see the very fundamental reason why do two families get into fight or get into conflict. What are all the possibilities because of which they get into conflict? That is what we are going to understand. There could be many reasons. When it goes to details, I'm not going to explain based on the details, but I'm going to see what are all the components needed for a conflict, right? There can be petty issues or there can be a big issue. I'm not going to the objective listing of what are all the reasons. Dowry can be one, respect can be one. No, I'm not going into that detail. The number of objective reasons can be eternal. We are not going to understand those things because there is no use of understanding and you can't complete it. But what we have made here is to understand these two families fight's origin. Okay, in general, the first thing is pampering. When the girl's parents or boy's parents do over pampering on the child, then they think the other side is wrong because they don't see the reality because of their ignorance in their eyes, because they give so much of pampering to their child, they create so much of issues in their own child, because of which the conflict begins in the first place, both husband side or wife side. The second thing is self-esteem, pride. Many times in Indian perspective, this happens from the boy side. Generally, majority wise, the self-esteem, pride stuff happens from the boys' family, where they think, we are boys' parents. How can they do this to us? How can they not invite us? How can they not inform us? How can they take this decision without consulting with us? All these stuffs will happen when it comes to boys' side because of the boys' pride. It's not at all good. And recently we see this kind of approach in girl side also. Either way, when it comes to self-esteem and pride, that is not right, because it is not holistic, and they are not thinking about their children and children's life. They are thinking about their ego and what they expect or demand. And because of this, what happens? They demand something from the other side of the family. The boy's family demands something, or the girl's family demands something to the boy's family. And when the demand is not addressed, then they will get into insult. And the same way, they expect the other family to do something. It can be materialistic, or it can be emotional, or it can be intellectual, anything. It could be respect or anything. And when that expect is not fulfilled, then they will get disappointment. And because of this also, conflict may arise. Then one more thing because of which conflict may arise. What is that? Visionless approach. What is vision? For a parents, the only vision is to see their children happy, right? So when they involve into an argument, or when they do something, or when they give something, or when they behave in a way, when they don't keep the vision in the back of their mind, they mess up things. So many a times you see people getting into stupid action and reaction without seeing the consequence, at what cost they are doing, for what pleasure they are doing. And this is so stupid, I agree, but there are good number of people do such a stupid thing. For a silly stupid thing, they make so much of us out of it, and they don't even realize for what sake they do all these things. And when it hits back, when the conflict happens because of their two family people's ignorance, the conflict starts between husband and wife. And at that time they feel bad. What did I do? And it's waste of time, right? So visionless approach in the parents or two families, that also matters. The third thing is biased stand. Though it is indirectly connected with the pampering approach, this is kept it separately because they are so attached. Therefore, they don't just spoil the child, but also they voluntarily defend the child in the front, even when the child is wrong. And they don't see that their child is wrong, or something should be changed from their end, whether it can be boy or whether it can be girl, whether it is husband's issue or whether it is wife's issue. The family, because of their biasness towards their child, they blame always the other side. This is also one of the main reason for the conflict. This is the fifth possibility, where because of the cultural differences, it can be religious, it can be caste, it can be from the same caste because of different subsect, or it can be because of the lifestyle, rich, poor, metropolitan cities influence, education. Different reasons could be there for cultural differences. And because of the cultural difference also, there could be approach difference between the two families. So these are all the major possibilities. If at all you can list anything else other than this five, I'll be very happy to know. Comment below if you can find something else other than which cannot come under any of these five categories. Now the question may come, to whom is this action plan? What can we do to change our parents? Obviously you have your own limitations, I agree, but as a husband and wife, and as a future in-laws, I want you to understand the picture, and therefore I'm giving you the action plan. And there will be individual action plan and parents action plan, couples action plan, all these things. Let us discuss. The first perspective which we are going to discuss is individual. As an individual person, as a husband or as a wife, how you can reduce the two family conflicts. That's what we are going to see now. The first perspective is about the difference between complain and compliment. We complain about our in-laws and we compliment about our in-laws, right? And in-laws include husband also or wife also, right? Generally two family all are involved. So how are we going to handle these complaints and compliments matters? Because most of the time, 99% of the time, the conflicts between the two families happen because of the boy and the girl, the husband and the wife, that is you and your partner. Only in the initial days, because of some function, because of some ritual, or because of some give and take, all these issues will happen from family level. But later on, everything comes down to your level. And when it comes to your level, the biggest problem is memory. We all have a memory trap. This is not only for the family, it applies for all walks of our life. But here I want to concentrate on family issues. With this context, I am explaining this memory trap. We have wow moments in our life, and also we have whack moments in our life. Whack, there is no word, right? So it's just opposite, ugly moments of our life. It can be from anybody in our family or from the other side of the family. And when we have a beautiful moment, we need to convey to the other side of the family. When I get a good happy moment or a respect or a happiness or a compliment from my in-laws, I should convey this to my parents so that they will know that I am treated well or I am loved by them, etc. The same way, if I am a girl and I am a wife and my in-laws treated me well and addressed me well or took care of me, then it is my responsibility to convey to my parents. Correct? But normally what happens is we don't remember the good things, and a small bad thing or a small complaint or a small lifted eyebrow we remember for so long, and we will share that with in detail description to our parents. Both husband and wife, this matters, because of which so much of euphoric thoughts and so many illogical imaginations happen in both the family side, considering the happiness of their children. Now let us see one by one what could be there as a wow moment, because we forget things that these all are worth remembering. We might have get happy moments, joy, fun, play, a small trip or travel. We forget, we don't communicate properly. We think, no, I put it in WhatsApp status, didn't you see? This is how we inform people, by putting it in WhatsApp status. And helping moments, taking you to doctor, or when you are sick, getting up in the midnight and making chai for you, or calling the doctor and finding out the different solution. Or it can be a good thing of what you did and recognizing your good acts and giving some compliments. Or it can be accepting their own mistake and confessing about their problems or about their family issues. Or it can be pure love and care. Any of these things, in one or the other way, it is all interconnected, and that shows that you are valued. For example, let us take the confession. If your in-law is doing a confession to you regarding her family issues, that means that she trusts you, right? She values you. What happens is, we normally don't remember all these things. We take it in one or the other mood and we forget it, and we don't remember that these many times they cared, they loved, we had nice moments, we had valuable laugh. We don't remember all these things, or we don't convey all these things to our parents so that our parents realize that we are happy in our other side house. But unfortunately, the other way around is ulta. When a sad moment happens, or a harsh word somebody spoke, or anybody compared us with anybody, or a distressed moment happened, or anybody controlled us to not do something, then the first thing what happens, we will tell to all our loved ones that this happened today, that happened today. This is called a memory trap. I'm not blaming you, but this is how the memory works. 100 moments of your happy moments, can you list out? You can't. But 100 moments of painful moments, can you list out? You can. Why? Because our memory sticks more with the negative things. Our memory is very strongly connected and doing a very amazing network when it comes to painful moments, but not the joyful moments. But we should control it and do the other way around so that we can be happy. All the worries are happening because of the past bad things. Nobody is happy. I'm very happy. Why are you happy? Because I had a very nice past. No, you can't say that, right? We never say that. We can't be happy for the past, but we can be sad for the past. Ye kya baat hai? Right? So we need to understand the tricky part of our memory, that is the memory trap. And the second approach is for the couple together. Both of you should understand how to reduce the family conflicts. And the first method is you both should be very, very committed that at any cost, we will never think of separation, and we will never think of making our lives so pathetic. And once you have such a commitment that we are, let what may come, you are the only one with whom I am going to share my life. When this commitment is so strong, the family conflicts will be lesser. The second thing is we need to contemplate when any confusion happens between us. When you and your partner is having an issue, then the first thing what you should do is to address within yourself and not to bring all the elders right away in the first place. First, you both should discuss, and you both should open up, and you both should ask and work on yourself. And only then, when you can't solve and you need guidance, then you should take it to the next level. And when it comes to the families, obviously I can't tell to your families, only you are listening, but I want you to keep this in mind. And when there is a possibility where you can convey this to your family, then you should right away inform your family so that they will understand this clearly. The first thing is the families, both the families, husband's family and wife's family, should know the value of distance and closeness. Both the family should be close. At the same time, both the family should be in distance. They should, I'm not talking about physical distance, right? You understand? So both should not overlap and become so close and thick and kith and kin. And when you are becoming more and more close, there are more possibility of conflicts. It happens with every relationship. So you need to keep up a distance along with the closeness, so that the distance closeness keeps the balance between respect and love. The second dimension which family should follow is balance. What type of balance? It is about the mistakes done by both our child and the partner of our child. When we understand the balance, then we can understand the situation in a clear way. We should not stand behind one person and take judgment. We should be balanced when we decide or when we judge the situation. The third one is patience. Many a times what happens, our child will come and complain, my partner is doing that, my in-law is doing this. We should not interfere in every walks of life. Sometimes by itself, by nature, our child will understand and change. So we need to give up some time. Time solves many of the problems. Today, because of all this media and because of all this hype, negative messages in all levels, we always expect the worst. And therefore, if a small issue comes, we exaggerate in our mind and visualize a bigger disaster, and we will make judgment so quickly. Fourth one is about the approach. In that, the first one is, we have already discussed this. How we have discussed likes versus good, we have discussed, right? The same way, love versus right, we need to discuss. We need to see who is right, and we should not see whom we love. the second approach which we need to follow is we need to always stay above both the people, husband and wife, or your son or daughter and their partner. You should be in the parent role. You should not be, boy's parent or girl's parent. No, you should be above both of them, and you should look both of them and understand the situation. The right approach should be like, you will really get a doubt whose child is who. That kind of a judgment parents used to give, and that is the right way. They see the right and they see the wrong, and they judge and they address. They will not say, whom I love, who is my child, and then taking a decision. This should be the right approach. The fifth one is very, very important. We need to have a clear cut, thought in our mind that past doesn't matter. Definitely in every marriage there will be some issues. In every customs and rituals there will be some upsets, and because of all these things we should not remember all these things and torture the future happy moments. We need to completely cut the past, all the bad moments, bad things, insults or confusions or disappointments happened in the past with the relationship to two families. We should cut and we should delete it. Only then you can live a fresh and a new life with your new future. So therefore you should not bring up all time the past issues. We know in the marriage itself, what in the engagement day itself, what is the use of bringing all the past in the present? So this is also one important thing, though it is tough, but this is my favorite. When you want a son-in-law or daughter-in-law, you won't get them alone. It's a combo pack. It's always a package deal. So when you want a daughter-in-law, the daughter-in-law comes with her family. When you want a son-in-law, son-in-law comes with his family. So therefore, try to accept all of them as they are. You can't expect everybody to be as you want to be, because we ourselves can't become the way how we want to, right? So therefore, expecting on others and demanding others to behave as we want is not possible at all. So saying that as a note, let us conclude. So we have completed the two families. So this is what we have seen now. Let us see the last part of family.